time to get real. I want to see some crazy Wiz Biz.
What's the magic made out of, ding dong?
I want to see some of that Wiz Biz.
This castle is in unacceptable condition! Unacceptable! Mathematical!
You teleport back.
Bacon pancake!
Welcome to the smooth, slow stylings of Wiz Biz with Alexx and Erik, a podcast where two adult men talk about a children's cartoon. I am Erik.
And I'm his co-host, Dog Vomit. And welcome to Dog Vomit and Smooth Jazz in the Morning on KART.
How's it going, Alexx?
Good. I feel like that would be the best morning show ever.
Dog Vomit. Wait, what was the first person's name?
I have no idea. I just made it up. The reason that's on my mind, I've been listening to a wonderful podcast called No Such Thing as a Fish, a spin-off podcast of the wonderful BBC show QI.
Uh-huh.
If we haven't said it on the show before, No Such Thing as a Fish is a great fact. The biologist Stephen Jay Gould pointed out that there's no such thing as a fish.
I have some more news for you.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a tree.
No, trees are more closely related to each other than fish are.
Okay,
The whole
that's
point of No Such
probably
Thing as
true.
a Fish is that the difference between like a trout and a carp, I'm just pulling those out, it's probably not those two, is the difference between a rhinoceros and a beetle.
Uh-huh.
Like they're nothing
yeah,
related. So the
okay,
term
I see what you're
fish.
saying.
Anyway, the point is, I've been listening to that, and they've got some whatever ad service propagates ads from America, and I don't know what happened, but they think I'm in Michigan, and there's been some Portlandy stuff, but there's this one guy. He's like a morning show host in Michigan, and he's got one of those names like hey, I'm big guy in the morning, but he's got that like raspy, ugly voice that makes sense to people that listen to him. But out of context, it's like this man has a terrible voice. He has no personality, and he's like, yeah, it's so bad. So it's like it's on my mind. Those like shitty, drive time shock jockey things. Like I forgot about him totally. So anyway, now I'm gonna be Dog Vomit or whatever I said.
Dog Vomit.
Yeah.
Wiz Biz with Erik and Dog Vomit.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, it doesn't sound as good.
Well, I think it's Dog Vomit and Smooth Jazz.
So the thing with trees, it turns out that I think you're probably right that all plants are probably more closely related. But a tree is a behavior and not a family, right? It turns out that plants from every, plant categorization have members of them that exhibit tree-like behaviors.
Oh yeah.
So tree isn't like a species or a genus or anything like that. Tree is just something that a plant behaves like.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they are as different. I only know the fish thing because of that podcast. Yeah, I just recently was looking at I'm just gonna say Norway, one of those tall white people lands. Their tallest tree is 3 centimeters, which is delightful. I just like that fact.
That's a short tree.
Yeah. So it's not Norway because they have people there, but it's somewhere up there. You know?
Yeah.
Like within 4 kilometers of when trees can't grow anymore. So they're just these tiny little. Oh, you know what it is? It's where's that place that believes in elves still?
Oh, Iceland?
It's Iceland. In Iceland, I think their trees there's a
might be an area
type of tree that only has a 3 centimeter, but it still counts as a tree. Which is
Have you ever traveled above the tree line in altitude?
Altitude?
Like on foot or I guess car?
Hood goes above tree line, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been on a hood above the trees, I think, and I feel like somewhere else too. One of the other local volcano-y mountains.
Yeah.
I hiked up above the tree line at some point,
Cool.
but I don't remember which one. I think it was Rainier. Is that an easy? One of them's a really easy hike.
It's not right here.
Okay, one of them has like not old people can do it, but like you don't need mountaineering skills. Like you just need a backpack full of stuff just in case you get caught. But like,
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Adams or something?
I don't remember. This was a decade plus ago. I don't remember. I just went because I
I don't
wanted to.
think Rainier is an easy hike. I don't think Rainier is like a day hike sort of thing. But I honestly don't know.
I don't remember. I know you drive most of the way up, obviously, and then it's just like a 5-hour loop or something. It's nothing. Yeah. So yes, I assume you have many times.
Yeah, I have. I have for sure in a few places. But I always just think it's really weird, when the trees get shorter and shorter and shorter, and then pretty much they're not there anymore.
I get the same thing when you go into the desert, where it's just like it feels wrong. Like it's like things went wrong. So how am I? I'm going to answer that with this.
Okay.
I did something wizard related this week. which I feel like is on topic for this podcast.
I feel like it is on topic for this podcast.
So for the first time in many, many years, I've been trying. Wait, back up a little bit. I've been doing medium dose ketamine for depressive symptoms to try to make them better, not to
does it
try to
help?
bring them on. I'm on the fence. Today was good, but in the first one, the second one that I took like a big dose, big for me, not big for regular people, because I'm microdose, so it's like I take like 10 times the microdose, which is still 1/5 of a actual dose that they give you injection wise. So it's just anyway. But the point is, I saw this like very purpley color and a shape in the color, and I was like, it felt like a very important message. So I was looking at it, and it's like, oh, that's the crown chakra, whatever. So I have chakras on my mind. So on Tuesday, I went to a chakra healer / Reiki person,
How
and I
did
got
it
my
go?
chakras all aligned. It was good. She was very nice. The chakras that needed some fixing up made sense to me. She said heart, throat, and third eye, which my main complaint, well, actually all three of those kind of covers my, although on the show I'm doing a pretty good job, I've gotten very quiet in my life. The depression has kind of taken over my will to speak and communicate, which is bad. And then heart, pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And third eye, I got into, back when I was doing more spiritual stuff more frequently, I'd gotten to the point that I think some people understand this, that when you're meditating, you can kind of see with your eyes closed. Like, like you're kind of firing in all what do you call it? Like Fantasia is going full out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the opposite, because aphantasia is what you can't see. So let's just say it's Fantasia.
Yeah. Fantasy.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
Yeah.
aphantasia is when you don't have an inner.
Right.
So I'm just going to go Fantasia.
Okay,
That doesn't sound
sounds
right,
good.
though.
Yeah, I think
so.
it's-
Anyway, she picked up on those, which was like, that's pretty good. Because if you said any of the other ones, I don't think maybe the whatever one controls sex, because I don't really care about that. But I'm middle aged and single, so it's not.
Yeah.
Maybe I think it's just. But anyway, yeah, it was interesting. A lot of it was sound based, so like a bunch of like really huge crystal bowls and like singing bowls, which I didn't see them when I came in. I thought it was like the standard kind of, in quotes, Tibetan singing bowl that you smack with a hammer, but they're like these big ass glass or crystal bowls, and trying to get my vibrations different and putting tuning forks on my head and shit. It was it was
So
interesting.
it was kind of like a sound bath sort of treatment?
Yeah, she does sound baths as well. At kind of that you can go to. Yeah, it was really interesting. It's the first time I've done Reiki before. I've never done like kind of chakra alignment. I mean, they're so overlapping, but I certainly never had this tuning fork thing, which was very interesting. Like especially having a tuning fork like touching you on your sternum. It's very interesting feeling. I'm supposing anybody that's had a tattoo around there would know it, but it's like feeling something having that kind of vibration like right on your sternum is a really interesting thing.
Ooh, I can't. Yeah, I don't know if I can imagine that.
It's weird.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't tickle, but it's like
Like a buzz.
it's in the world of tickle. Like in that there's no such thing as a fish. Let's say there's no such thing as a tickle. We'd call them both tickles, even though they're very differently related to one another.
So it's a ticklefish.
Yeah. So I did my third dose of the ketamine today. That you just do 4 doses is the depression protocol, and I went hardcore into the realm of meditation stuff today. I tried to get my chakras going. Maybe stuff happened. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a good mood, but I had a lot of caffeine today and actually slept last night.
Yeah.
So that might
That could help a lot too. I mean, you seem like you're in a good mood. I enjoy it.
yeah. So I don't know if that, because I did sleep well and have a lot of caffeine today. So yeah. Anyway, very witchy, very kind of wizard related.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's cool.
Try to get some magical stuff. We talked about clair abilities. I forget how she worded it. Like clairaudient, clairvoyant, but she called them like we all have clair something, like clair abilities, and all I heard was clairs, the place in the mall that you get your ears pierced at.
Yeah.
And I was making sure to not laugh at that, but in my head I'm just like I'm at Lloyd Center going to clairs.
Yeah. You have to visit your imaginal mall and find the imaginal clairs, and that's where you'll find the earrings that heal your third eye.
Yeah. And then you go to your imaginal Build-A-Bear. That's how you get your
heart
spirit
chakra.
animal. Yeah. So directly related to wizard business, I did some wizard business this week, and Thus ends my update.
Well, the tuning fork thing reminded me of something I did this week that did not include tuning forks. I got the piano tuned at one of the lodges that I'm a part of. So I've had a friend of mine come and tune the piano, and I hadn't seen a piano tuning in decades. My
I've never seen one.
Yeah. Well, when I watched, my mom get her piano tuned as a kid, this guy would always have like a whole case full of tuning forks that he'd use.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, that was before smartphones. But it turns out
Never
that
thought
nowadays,
about it, but of course it'd be a smartphone.
Yeah, so he had a smartphone app. He said that the app, it's a professional piano tuning smartphone app that costs like $300 or something like that. And I was kind of disappointed. I was really kind of looking forward to the experience of watching a person with a tuning fork tune the piano, but there were no tuning forks.
Yeah, when I was trying to learn the ukulele a few years back, and I had no idea how to tune things. But I went on Amazon and I was looking at tuners. There's the thing that you clip on like a capo at the top, and you play a string, and then it tells you up or down whether to tighten or loosen. So like you don't. It's like literally, it's just it's a robot does it for you.
Yeah. I've seen those on guitars a lot. A lot of people use them.
Very helpful because also you don't have to have that thing of two people hearing different notes as being like the right note. I don't know if you've ever seen guitarists, especially like not very good guitarists. When one guy's adjusting his strings, you can see the face, and the other one's like, "Yeah, it's not a D, bro." You're a quarter turn away from D. I don't even know if D is a string. I don't know anything about guitar.
Yeah, I think it is a string. I think they've got E, A, C, G, D. Maybe not in that order. But
I definitely was one of the ones I said. So perfect.
Yeah. Well, I also had a music success this week. I played the guitar at a Scottish Rite Feast of Tishri, which is like a Masonic ritual festival thing.
Yeah.
And I played the guitar.
What's it called? What's that again?
Tishri.
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 Do you know how to spell that off the top of your head?
Tishri.
SH. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, Tishri. Yeah, it's one of the Hebrew months.
Oh, Tish.
Yeah.
Got it. I was doing I was doing like S's and T's and stuff to try to get there, but Tish like table. I mean, I don't know if it's related, but I mean, like that's the Tish, not Tish like some weird double S spelling or something.
Yeah.
Like, shut up, Alex. Go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm confused, but I'll get around to it. So
yeah, I heard. So here's what happened. I heard Hebrew as
Tishri.
No. I heard Hebrew as Yiddish in my head.
Oh.
And because then Tish is table coming from German. German is Yiddish. And my brain went into place. I'm like, oh no, you mean like the actual one, like Hebrew.
Hebrew.
Because I'm from the New York area. Like my brain, Hebrew is Yiddish. I know it's not, but my brain has still troughs of synapses firing.
Everybody knows you're from New Jersey. It's okay. You can just say it.
I said the New York area. I was 20 miles away from Manhattan. It wasn't maybe 25. Like it's not. I'm not doing one of those. I would never say I'm from there, but like I could see 9/11 from my town. I feel like that counts.
Yeah, that does count. So anyhow, it went really, really well. I used my looper pedal to kind of like play, lay down stuff and sort of play over it and create, sort of these complex synthesizer loops. They weren't very complex, but they were synthesizer loops. And then at the end, I played a cover of Inagata Davida.
Oh, yeah.
And people were thrilled.
That's cool. Yeah, just Scottish the right out of that. Fuck yeah.
Yep. It was pretty fun. It was, it's pretty low stress because I was basically just doing like background music, So it wasn't like people were there to watch me play.
No, whatever. That's cool. You got to play your guitar in front of people. That's a life goal. I know this isn't Fancy Rocks, and we're going to talk about the episodes of Adventure Time very quickly.
Okay.
I was playing Scrabble with people recently, and I had the best guess that turns out isn't a word. I used shroving.
Oh, that's a word.
Yeah, it's not anymore. Apparently it's not a word anymore. But I went like, Shrove is like Shrove Tuesday. People go shroving for Shrove Tuesday. That's right. So I looked it up, and it's like Middle English, archaic, or whatever. So it's no longer the Scrabble dictionary. But the people I was with are not very word oriented, and they're like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what are you doing? We shouldn't have played against you," kind of thing. But it was I thought you'd be pleased by that guess.
Oh man, I feel like I came across the word shroving in a Brother Cadfael novel.
Yeah, that makes sense. They shrove the shit out of things.
Okay, so this time we are going to talk about 3 season 5 episodes. Episode 31, Too Old. Episode 32, Earth and Water. And episode 33, Time Sandwich.
Yes.
And we're doing 3 episodes because Too Old, which is an episode that we wanted to skip, it turns out it's essential to the plot arc for season 5. So we still have to talk about it.
Yeah, I guess.
Even though Lemon Grab sucks.
And I like Lemon Grab, but this is a bad episode.
Yeah.
So, like, let's just get the important thing out of the way. At some point, the Lemon Grabs made a kind of nephew character called Lemon Hope, and he has been imprisoned, and he is he's out of prison by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know,
I think,
just for
yeah.
plot purposes in the rest of the series.
Yeah, I think it's also important to remember that the Earl of Lemon Grab is eating his clone.
Does that stay a thing, though? I thought that goes back to normal afterwards.
Does it?
Yeah, I thought so.
I
could be
doubt it.
wrong.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, when I normally rewatch Adventure Time, I tend to skip the Lemon Grab episodes because his voice annoys me so much.
Yeah, I thought it goes back to them being 2 distinct characters, but I don't remember. As much as I like Lemon Grab as a character, they're not like my favorite episodes. I just like when people scream dumb stuff. It's just fun for me.
And I think, okay, so there are a couple things about this episode that I think are worth mentioning. So BMO, I think, might have like 1 line in the episode, a couple lines in the episode, but there's this hilarious thing where Jake and Finn are like video chatting with each other, which I guess is something they can do now.
Yeah.
And BMO's trying to climb into the tub.
Yeah, it's a very cat-like moment.
it's
Well,
hilarious.
not cat, but like not tub, but when your cat wants to get on your lap while you're in the meeting. Yeah.
And then the other thing I really loved is in Lemon Hope's prison cell, the toilet
Is
was
a juicer.
Yeah.
Which I really like, old school, like one of
that's
those
hilarious. One of those ones like
Colbert kind of things.
that your dad used to make fresh squeezed orange juice when you were a kid.
Yeah, the other runner I enjoyed in this episode is that so Finn's trying to kind of he's now refixated on Princess Bubblegum because he has broken up with Flame Princess in the previous episode. He talking to Jake says, "Oh no, Princess Bubblegum doesn't like you anymore."
Yeah.
And Jake goes, "Are you just saying that because you want to go there by yourself with her?" And Finn keeps up with it, which is kind of funny. But then it goes to Princess Bubblegum that goes out of range. "Where's Jake?" "No, because I love Jake." And it's just like this giant thing. And I think they call back to it like at the end of the episode.
They do, yeah.
Fun little runner in a otherwise kind of lackluster episode. I mean,
So-
Finn desperately trying to do pranks because that's how they bonded early on the show.
Yeah,
it's kind of cute, but like I don't think it's articulated well.
Yeah, and nothing. Yeah, and it also, I don't like the backsliding for Finn. I don't think that him going back to having a crush on Princess Bubblegum makes any sense.
I don't
feel
mind
like
it.
he got over it. I
Yeah,
feel like
but
he
he-
spent a lot of time getting over it.
But he just got broken. It's his first major breakup. Your brain's in a weird place. You go back. I don't know if you've ever done you call your ex that you shouldn't call because you're after another breakup. Like
Yeah,
it's that made sense to me. I just didn't like the way they approached it.
same here.
Yeah, it's not. It's a bit of a shit episode. Oh, there's a fun line from Finn at the end where PB's essentially at the end of the episode. PB's like, our age gap is too much. This is never going to happen. The kid keeps focusing on you're a kid, and Finn's like, maybe older people are different. Older people are different. They're just less fun inside. And they're like, yeah,
Finn,
kind
did you
of.
have to kick us all in the balls?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to hear it, but facts, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's another thing about this episode that I did kind of enjoy. I wonder if the giant Earl of Lemon Grab is a reference to Baron Harkonnen, or something of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, his interesting because between the two of them, it's a giant fat guy who floats because the half Lemon Grab is floating on a Spencer chair. Ladies, I remember that off the top of my head, so line forms somewhere near never.
Hey, it's almost Halloween. It's sexy vampire time.
That's true. I guess I'll dress as Marceline. Yeah, this episode blows. I mean, it's not a good episode at all. I think we've already given it more than it deserves.
Yeah, and then right at the end, Finn, his like big takeaway from the episode is like, "Oh, I've got to patch things up with Flame Princess."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh boy."
I mean, I get that. That's some dumb little kid thinking.
That's some dumb little kid thinking.
Let me pitch you this as far as order of this episode goes. How about we talk about 33, Time Sandwich, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Uh-huh.
We'll do a segment and then do Earth and Water.
So you want to do them backwards?
Yeah, only because Earth and Water, I think we need to have an actual conversation about.
Okay.
And it'd be weird there'd just be this weird little snippet of 33. So why don't we do 33 now? We'll do a segment and then do...
Okay, sounds good. Okay, episode 33 is Time Sandwich.
Yeah, bonus episode.
I really love this episode. It's got some great visual gags. It's got Magic Man, who is a terrifying villain, who luckily is too insane to use his powers for anything really horrifying most of the time. I mean, the body horror episode was pretty horrifying, I suppose.
Oh, where just people with like individual body parts?
Yeah, when Finn got turned into a giant foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty gross.
So there's the setup is Jake has made this amazing sandwich.
And it's not just amazing. He made it. He was inspired by a divine presence.
Yeah.
A divine presence came into him, and he made the sandwich.
So here is the Wiz Biz of it all. Is that a visual gag? I mean, obviously it is. But we're taking the show as serious. He did use Prismo's pickles on it, which Prismo is like a cosmic being.
And he used lobster soul.
Yeah. So did he actually call forth something? Like, was that imbued with a sandwich god of some kind?
I think
which is what summoned Magic Man.
I think that's probably what happened. I think that sandwich was special. Magic Man arrived there because Jake channeled some sort of sandwich god.
Yeah.
And created the perfect sandwich. I mean, there was so much stuff in that sandwich that, I mean, it looked good. The sous vide meat, Prismo's pickles, lobster sole. I loved it.
Yeah, I just gotta say, sous vide doesn't take that quick. I mean, you gotta wait a little bit longer.
I know. I was kind of, I was thinking about that in the episode because he put the sous vide in and he immediately went to cut the bread. I was like, oh, you shouldn't cut the bread yet; it'll get stale.
Yeah, that sous vide is gonna take a while, but it's a magical world. Sous vide, I guess that doesn't take as long.
Maybe sous vide is fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. There are a number of important sandwiches in the show, but I'm really looking forward to. I think later on, BMO makes a sentient sandwich.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which is really disturbing, but Yeah,
because we also had an episode where Jake made like the best burrito ever.
Yeah.
But that one didn't attain any kind of godhood. So I guess because he didn't have Prismo pickles.
But there was still a wizard problem. Didn't like Ice King steal the burrito or something like that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I've seen the show so many times, and it just
or wait, was that the
brain.
episode with Little Guy? I was just thinking about that one. Little Guy when life giving wizard turned Finn's hat sentient.
Yeah, and he was eating things and turned them into hat poo.
Yeah, he just have to like crawl over them. Everything that passed through the hat turned into poop.
Yeah, I wish it worked like that in real life.
Yeah, that'd be great. I wish I had a hat like that. I do not want a hat like that.
So the look of this episode is delightful. So Magic Man has encased himself into essentially a time bubble with Jake's sandwich. Mm-hmm. And the various A and B tier cast are throwing themselves at it to try to try to get the sandwich back. Now BMO is not trying to do that. BMO is trying to make a sick skate video, and BMO does like a quadruple kickflip whatever into the bubble,
and he's stuck in time.
Yeah, looks sick as fuck.
Yeah. Looks so cool.
PB shows up and uses like special honey to try to break it down, and it looks like an explosion behind BMO. Looks sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Marceline shows up and tries to drop an atomic elbow in her demonic form.
She calls it demon juice.
Yeah. Perched directly behind the explothen and BMO mid trick.
It looks
like a metal album.
Yeah, it's totally awesome.
Yeah. One of the coolest things we see, and then the spell gets broken, which I enjoyed greatly.
Through sadness,
because somehow Finn figured out that when Magic Man gave a riddle, that like he was giving the clock coordinates of a sad face.
Yeah, and then wetter is better. It means that you have to be, as sad as possible. Your eyes need to be wet. You're so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's so like that sort of like divine presence in the sandwich, because. At some point, Jake is like, I'm just going to go make a new sandwich. And he goes back inside, and the inspiration doesn't appear. Maybe it was a sandwich muse. Is there a muse of sandwiches?
I mean, there's an Earl of sandwich, so why not a muse?
All right. There's a muse of sandwiches now.
Yeah. Fucking Earl of sandwich. Degenerate gambler. Piece of shit. Hey, look, I'm just saying, without him, Jared Fogle never happens.
One of the things that the Time Sandwich episode also got into is the... science and magic thing, because
Oh yeah.
once again, Peebs is totally flip flopped, and she's like, "Oh yes, this is actually molasses based, blah 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 blah," science.
Yeah. I mean, she sciences magic.
She
Makes sense.
sciences
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, she's got that sufficiently advanced science will be indistinguishable from magic.
And I really liked Marceline's hair in this episode. It was way different.
Oh yeah.
She had like big metal hair.
Yeah. I mean, I'm indifferent.
I liked it.
I didn't dislike it, but it's
But I really did enjoy the thing where Marceline was like, "I'm just gonna use demon juice."
Yeah. I do like her demon form. It's fun.
Yeah,
We don't see it enough.
And BMO was really cool in this episode. I liked the callback to BMO's new software.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because that's from the Be More episode, which I think we did last time or the time before. And then yeah, like it's interesting seeing BMO or paying more attention to BMO this watch through and watching him develop as a character. Because he's part of the team.
Yeah, he's almost like third lead at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not quite there yet, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's now weird if we see Finn and Jake without BMO being there.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, it's a super fun episode. It has absolutely nothing to do with our remit. I mean, he has Magic Man being there.
Well, Magic Man being there, so like the spell that he casts is sort of like time stop and sort of like slow from D&D. But again, like the D&D style magic doesn't really fit into the occult theme very much.
Yeah.
I think one of the things about Magic Man that is sort of I don't think we've gotten to the point yet where they talk about like every wizard in OO has magic, madness, and sadness. I don't think that they've talked about that. I think Betty talks about it this season though.
Yeah.
But Magic Man is like a really good embodiment of that, and his madness, thank God, keeps him from being truly evil all the time.
Thanks, Sandwich. That's what I would say.
Sandwich.
Thanks, Sandwich.
Thanks, Sandwich.
Lately, songs have been getting stuck in my head, especially ones from when I was younger. I think maybe I'm noticing I'm going to die and I'm going to just walk into the woods and curl up.
Oh, it's
so I'm
fall.
thinking about the past. Yeah. But there's a Guar song, Meat Sandwich, and the song just goes, meat, sandwich, meat, sandwich, 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 sandwich. And the whole episode, that thing's just running through my head for no fucking reason. Just because it's a time sandwich.
Yeah, time sandwich.
Yeah.
Aside from that, there were no surprise voice actors in this episode. Everything there was as expected. One fun thing about this episode is we did get to see almost all of our main characters.
Yeah, no Ice King.
Ice King was missing, but we got PB, we got Marceline, we got Finn and Jake, we got BMO. So almost all the main characters are there.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's an expensive episode, voice cast wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Expensive 12 minutes. Do you have anything more on this episode?
That is it.
All
Fun
right.
episode.
That's what I got. So let me ask you the question that everybody's been dying for me to ask.
Yes.
Do you have any shiny rocks?
Yes. One that makes this noise.
Ooh, I like that noise.
Yes. Okay. So I have 3.
3.
So you have we're only going to do 2 of them. Oh, I don't know. Let's find out. Old English word, a word you probably know, but it's just fun, and more of a fact, but it's word based.
Is the Old English word shroving?
No.
Oh, then let's do another Old English word.
Duskewung. Duskewund. Dustceawung. That's probably a V in that W, but I don't know Old English at all.
I have no idea what that means.
It's a good one. It's an Old English word which means to contemplate how dust was once other things, such as books, trees, or the walls of a city. That dust is ultimately the destination of all things. That's a good word.
That's a good word.
Yeah. The only problem is it's spelled Dustceawung.
Hold on.
And it's, I'm going to say, nearly impossible to pronounce.
Say it again.
Dustceawung.
You lost me after SC. SC. EA.
WUNG. So 3 U's in a row, basically.
Yeah, that W I'm sure makes a V sound.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think Old English
probably
is still the. Yeah.
Dust Shivung. That's how I would say
Yeah,
it.
because
Dust Shivung.
yeah, because I think C is still sh back then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
I'm
Old
so
English
bad
is
with
weird. I don't really. I think that. Yeah, I don't know.
even Middle English is still like a little weird to me. But Middle English, I have like a slightly better chance of maybe pronouncing. But Old English, I'm just like whatever.
I like that word though. The
Yeah.
contemplation that all things, that dust is the final stage of all things.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dirt-based memento mori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that you too shall be dust.
Oh no, is that Maury Povich was on at 2 p.m. on Channel 4. Here, let's do the fact. These are two facts. One, you probably won't know the answer, but it's funny.
Okay.
And the other is you won't know the answer, but you'll be annoyed by it because it's like it's a catch-22.
Okay.
3-level catch-22. What were the first words said by man on the moon?
Well, I mean, there was the. Oh yeah, it's not what we expect, right?
It's not.
This is one small step for man, one giant step for mankind.
Well, there's 2 levels right there.
Yeah, because that's
Neil Armstrong claims that he said one small step for a man, which is what he was trying to do, but it
Yeah.
got garbled in transmission.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I think he's lying.
yeah. What were the real?
The real first words, contact light.
Oh,
Because when they landed, the contact light went off.
oh,
So the actual first words of man on the moon, contact light.
okay.
Yeah. Very interesting to me, at least, because I'd never heard that before. And I read a lot about moon conspiracies. Hey, sorry for the abrupt change.
We had a computer failure.
Yeah, we had a computer ouchie. We didn't miss anything, but
But please send hopes, thoughts and prayers. For
thoughts and
Alex's
prayers
computer.
to my RAM.
Yeah.
Next thing on the list is
You
first
said you had a fact that was going to annoy me.
yes. Okay, sorry. The first thing on the thing was the first words on the moon.
Uh-huh.
Do you know the first words sent over the internet? And the word words is a little loaded.
I don't think I've ever pondered that one.
So technically it's the ARPANET.
Yeah, okay.
But I assume you knew that, but I guess
Yeah.
I should probably say that. And it was in California between 2 universities. And the first things ever sent across the internet, or ARPANET, was LO, L-O. Because they're trying to send login, and it died after the first 2 letters, which I find incredibly amusing. It's a very pleasing
That's
fact.
even better than what were the first words on the moon? Landing
Contact light.
Contact
Yeah,
light. Yeah, I'd say low is even better than contact.
Oh yeah,
light.
the contact light thing is just. I think the first words on the moon are probably some of the most repeated things in human history.
Yeah.
And the fact those aren't the first words of the moon is deeply pleasing to me. It's
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
so. I mean, I guess technically they were in the ship, but like, come on, the first words of the moon were contact light. And then one more quick word, just because I like it, and I was asking a friend what their favorite word is, for this segment, and they brought up chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro.
It might be chiaroscuro. CHIAROSCURO. I forgot to look up the pronunciation, to be honest.
Well, what does it mean?
It is in art. It is the use of strong contrast between light and dark. It's like an art term, which I knew from my art days. That being hanging out with a lot of arty people.
Yes, the arty people.
But it's a good word, and it was brought up by a friend, of which I have few, so I decided to listen to them. Yeah, it's chiaroscuro. Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro. What language does it come from?
I'm assuming Italian because it's art.
Yeah.
Let me look. I mean, that's the dumbest thing in the universe. Oh, it is Italian. Fuck yeah.
All right, chiaroscuro.
my immediate dumb fuck etymology brain actually worked out.
Good job, brain.
Art equals Italian pays off. Because if it turns out it was Latin, they were like, yeah, technically that's Italy.
Yeah.
So speaking of Italy, they have both earth and water there.
Oh, interesting. That what an excellent segue into our episode 32, which we are doing in the reverse order. Earth and water. This is thankfully the conclusion of the Flame Princess breakup saga, I believe.
I think you're right, and I hope you're right.
So this time when watching this episode, I in the past I've had a really difficult time accepting Cinnamon Bun as Flame Princess's like replacement for Finn. And he's not really a replacement for Finn. But this
Yeah,
time...
he's more her like valet than a
Yeah.
than a
But
suitor.
this time I realized that Cinnamon Bun is kind of perfect for Flame Princess because he is too dumb to lie.
Yeah, so I think this works really well, especially with the young relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You just broke up with somebody that you thought was super sweet, that you had a deep relationship. What do you do next? Dumb sweet guy. Like
Dumb
just
sweet
just
guy.
dumb sweet guy. You got stabbed in the back. You just want someone that won't hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cinnamon Bun cannot.
Yeah, I think it would be a tough thing to imagine Cinnamon Bun doing something deceptive and hurtful.
Yeah, for sure. So one thing in this episode, so part of the arc, the Flame Princess breakup arc, when Finn did his little shitty thing and got Flame Princess and Ice King to fight each other, Flame Princess destroyed the Ice Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, melted it. Like, it was bad. So it turns out Ice King has moved into the treehouse.
Yeah, and he's got Gunter rebuilding the Ice Kingdom.
Which-
Gunter wearing the crown. Yeah.
Yeah, which is something that is very inconsistent with what we learn about the crown later on.
Yes.
But it was really fun to watch, especially the Snowa constrictors, which I wrote that down. And I was like, I have no idea how you write Snowa constrictor.
Yeah, I had the same thought. I just wrote it like boa constrictor with an S and just hoped I remembered. We cannot miss a wonderful, cute BMO moment. We open the episode with Jake Finn playing on BMO, more Jake than Finn, and they're playing sumo scoots, which seems like sumo wrestlers on scooters.
Yeah.
Which is his video game system is like he's like the Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's like all these like rip-off games. And yeah, Jake tries to, hey, what's going on? Let me try to cheer you up. And he does that by putting his eyeballs on his butt and talking to Finn via butt, which I feel like, 13, 14-year-old boy, probably going to cheer you up pretty good.
Yeah, I would laugh as an adult if you had your eyeballs on your butt.
I think I'd be terrified as an adult.
Okay. Yeah, the magic dog in general, I think would be.
I would take a look. Like I'm skittish around his regular ass dogs, but like if it starts talking to me and then like moves its face to its ass, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's that dog from the '90s that had that kid show where like the one half was a dog and the other half was a cat. I was cool with that. I think it was called Cat Dog.
Cat Dog. Yeah. I only vaguely remember that. I don't know. That was sort of during a period of my life where I wasn't watching cartoons. One of my sad times.
I think that was somewhat after my time as well. I'm slightly younger than you, so it would be weird if you sat down and watched it because I don't think it was like adults resonate with this. I think it was just a dumb fucking kid show.
I think that was during the time of my life when I was really busy with my dust shavung.
Oh yeah, nice line. Yeah.
So Princess Bubblegum is spying on Flame Princess. And this is actually like another thing I really love about this. Cinnamon Bun doesn't think Princess Bubblegum is a good guy.
Yeah, he kind of straight up says she's evil. Yeah.
Bubblegum is bad,
yeah.
I think. But yeah, like he calls it. He definitely calls it because everything that Princess Bubblegum does in this episode is manipulative and cruel.
So I would my normal argument for Princess Bubblegum not being evil is that she's essentially god of her kingdom.
Yeah.
She's not god of Flame Princess.
No,
that is totally sentient other thing.
But Princess Bubblegum considers Flame Princess to be an existential threat.
Yeah, it's still sentient being. That's I think we're crossing a line that even I can't defend. Like and especially that's someone that your friend used to date. Like
I know.
There's a lot of I don't know. That's not comfortable with that. That's not good PV. Another thing I noticed here. So I wrote that Flame Princess was moping. Mm-hmm. Moping needs more letters in it.
Yeah, it looks weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like you're trying to spell mopping, but like dropped a P, and it's like that's not how moping should be spelled.
No.
Like it should be like moting, but instead of the
you think there should be an extra E in there?
No, I think it should be MOA.
Mope.
Yeah, moping.
Moping.
Because there is like a little schwa EOA in there, moping.
Moping. Hey, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Who do we have to write to? The Queen?
Is Noah Webster still alive?
Dead.
Yeah.
There must be a Webster.
What about that Ode guy? He knows a lot of good words.
What about that dude that you like, the language guy on YouTube that you enjoy watching?
Oh, Rob Words?
Yeah, Rob Words.
Yeah, I think Susie Dent outranks him. I think if anybody, we'd have to go to Susie Dent.
Okay, let's start there.
She's another British word person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, so maybe what we need to do is ask Rob Words if you feel like the spelling on a word should be changed.
Yeah.
Who do you have to petition?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I'm pretty sure I stole that Middle English word from Rob Words.
Oh, yeah?
And not so much steal, it's a word.
Well, then he probably said it. Out loud.
No, because he does newsletters and stuff. But now
Ah.
that I've said that out loud, I think I stole it from Mental Floss.
Dust.
I know I didn't find it.
Dust
Somebody
Shaba.
else found it, and I
Yeah.
stole it from
Yeah.
them. I mean, technically, that's every single word, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I don't think you need to worry about always announcing that unless it's really, really
Oh no, I
important.
don't. No, I'm not always announcing it. I just feel like if it's especially Rob Words, where his whole gig is finding interesting words and telling other people about it.
Uh-huh.
If I take one of his words in a segment that I find interesting words and tell other people about it,
Yeah.
that's just theft unless I give him credit
Okay,
for it.
that's a good
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like, yeah. And also, it's good for us to support our fellow creators.
Yeah. No, I don't do it most of the time. I don't do it, but
Mm-hmm.
like if it's directly like that's his gig, and I'm just doing it for him.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't want this to be the TikTok thing where like I just watch another video and point at it every now and again and nod. You know?
So, I have a question that maybe you can help me answer.
I'll certainly make something up.
In this episode, it seems like Flame Princess is just now realizing that Princess Bubblegum was the one that had her locked up in baby jail. But that was revealed a long time ago, wasn't it? Didn't Flame Princess already know this?
I thought Flame Princess was under the assumption that her dad did it, which technically he did
Yeah.
under PB's demand, but it's not like he doesn't answer to PB, so it's still on him.
Oh. Yeah, but it's also on PB. Because in the episode, remember the episode that we make fun of all the time where Finn and Flame Princess kiss and Flambeau is there and doesn't do...
Yeah.
In that episode, I know that Princess Bubblegum talks about the fact that she was involved in locking Flame Princess up in baby jail, but maybe Flame Princess wasn't around to hear it. Maybe she
Yeah, I
was
don't
telling
remember.
Jake. She
Yeah.
might have been telling Jake. But yeah, like the thing where Flame Princess realizes that Princess Bubblegum is not her friend, I thought was a really nice, Flame Princess is kind of she's as dumb as Finn.
Yeah, but here's the thing: she's 15,
Yeah,
so she should be dumb.
yeah,
That's fine. This is not an insult to say a 15-year-old's dumb. Every single one is.
every single 15-year-old.
I mean, except for like some like Indian kid that's really good at chess. I mean, but like
Right.
99.7%.
But he might be good at chess and then dumb at everything else.
Yeah, it's true. But like most of 15-year-olds are fucking idiots. So like that's on par.
Yeah.
PB being a an immortal being that's been around forever, being evil is a choice.
Yeah. A choice. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, the plot is basically Princess Bubblegum kind of tricks Flame Princess into letting her run tests on her by intimating that
Basically, it's going to be torture.
but she can like turn off the sadness of Finn breaking up with her.
Yeah.
Which is a really shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
And PB, being the somewhat idiot genius that she is, leaves Cinnamon Bun in charge of this.
Yeah, but
torture
she also
machine.
just has two things for him to do.
But still, I know Cinnamon Bun so much less than she does, and I know you can't trust him in this
That's
situation.
true,
Especially, you have a death goddess in your lab. She is essentially Shiva. This is a creature of flame. This is a Jinn that
Yeah.
you have in your lab. You don't trust the sentient fucking pastry. That's idiocy. And the
Okay.
extra dumb one.
That makes total sense, and we know that Princess Bubblegum makes a lot of those sorts of like boneheaded. I think that Princess Bubblegum is under a lot of stress. She is basically this hyper intelligent, godlike creature. Who is responsible for taking care of an entire kingdom full of morons.
Yeah.
And her two most significant helpers are a magic dog and a stupid 15-year-old. Like, she doesn't have anybody she can delegate to ever, and so she has to be in like 100 places at once all the time.
I suppose, but also, the thing is, she made those people.
Yeah,
Them being dumb is her fault.
it is, but remember what happens when they get smart,
It's still
as
her
we
fault.
learn later. Yeah, she made them dumb. She literally made them dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can kind of split that. Or, and I'm not saying start a breeding program, but start a breeding program with like the pseudo-humans.
Yeah, we want a candy bar Hatterrock.
Yeah.
That could be better.
No, Candy Bar Hatterrock is good. I like it. It's not good for a long form thought, but for that quick, that was very good.
Thank you.
Like
Thank
the immediacy of that was if you did better than that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what would be better than that. I feel like there should be some sort of crispy Hatterrock.
So I think we need like oh no, because it's just called. I was thinking that rock candy.
Oh.
But it doesn't really fit because you have to say rock candy.
Yeah.
And right, yeah, it doesn't fit. Anyway, the best one of that is John and I were riffing on that, and we refer to as when he's running late, he's the Quartz Watch Havasek. It's so stupid. That's good. Yeah, audience at home, this is what we do.
Yeah. So another thing that I loved about this episode was the kind of like fairy tale callback or the fairy tale reference, right? So there's this memory sequence when Flame Princess is sort of remembering her life. Where there's a prophecy about her that is delivered to the Flame King that says your daughter will be more powerful than you, and he's like, send her off in the wilderness to die.
Yeah,
and then it's totally like Snow White.
Yeah, it brings him to a Tin Woodsman.
Yeah, there's a woods.
That might be a reference to something. I can't put my finger on it.
I can't really think of what that would refer to.
Oh, you get a brain. I know a guy.
You have no heart.
Also, know a guy. His name is Ricardio.
Yeah.
So she burns down the Wounded Shack, and PB finds her and sends her back to the Fire Kingdom. And she basically makes a deal with the dad, like, dude, you can't let this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in baby jail. Not good, but not bad. Because I think having that kind of power and being a baby, it's kind of like that. One of the terrible, I think it was Twilight. One of them showed this thing where like they made like a toddler a vampire, and since it has no like impulse control, it just goes roughshod and kills an entire village and just like drinks all their blood because it's got like power, but it's 5, so it doesn't know how to stop. I think that's kind of like what we're dealing with here. It's like you can't have a flame elemental as a baby in a flammable world. That's not good.
Totally is not good. And the thing is, and honestly, there probably is no way to stop Flame Princess because she is the fire elemental.
No, I mean, wet. Every time she gets wet, it's like pretty quick. Yeah.
That's true. Okay. So you could just keep her in a puddle?
Yeah, I mean, that would be torture. But like, I'm just saying, like, it's not, it'd be pretty, like, if they weren't idiots, like, it'd be pretty easy to stop. Like, just get a hose.
Yeah, just have fire hoses.
Yeah, water balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can really have very much of that stuff in the Flame Kingdom. I don't think or in Fire Kingdom. I don't think they're really.
No, but I'm saying in the upworld, they can do what they want down there. Just like the second you go into the real world, just get a fire truck and we're good.
Yeah. Okay.
Super soaker.
Makes sense. Water balloons.
Yeah. I mean, like if Ice King wasn't a fucking idiot, he would have wrecked her in that fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Literally, one snowball connects, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, he could have just made a snowstorm.
Yeah, facts.
A blizzard probably would stop her. So and then of course there's by the end of the episode, Flame Princess has returned to the Fire Kingdom with Cinnamon Bun as like her personal retainer and has deposed her father. Yes,
and now she's the new Flame King.
She's the new Flame King,
which is interesting. Because she's a princess. Yeah. Like in this world, the powered individuals are called princesses. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that she's both the Flame King and not the Flame Queen.
Yeah.
Like, there's double interest there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we don't really ever see another king until the King of Ooh.
Yeah, and he's more like a huckster. He's not really a king.
Yeah. And then there's also the King of the Vampires. Oh, and I guess Hunson Abadir, is he a king? Is he the king of hell? The king of the Nightosphere?
I don't remember if they use the term king.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But the lion vampire is the king of vampires.
Yeah, king of the vampires. That's true.
King of the vampires.
So she becomes a new Flame King and says that her only new rule is that everyone's going to be completely honest because she's tired of being lied to. And basically says, hey, Finn, you can come back anytime you want. Just don't lie to me. And she's like, I mean it. And her eyes glow evilly.
And he's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, good episode.
Very good episode.
Good lore. Kind kind of magic-y, but not, directly occulty.
It definitely sort of. So the interesting thing is, the episode before this that we watched, Fire and Ice, this one was called Earth and Water.
Yeah.
But why? Where was the water?
I have no good answer for that. I guess no, because it's a flame shield is what gets cast in City Bone. I was thinking maybe that's like a water spell, but no, there's no answer. for that.
There's water at the beginning.
Is there?
I mean, she's next to a pond. But
I mean, look, it's good enough answer as anything.
All right, all right, we got it.
Anything more on that one?
No, I don't really have anything more on that one. There were no surprise guest actors, and there wasn't really a whole lot of super occult stuff in it. But it was definitely a really important episode for closing out that relationship arc between.
And it's one of the good episodes that is. It's not the lemon one we watched before. It's like where you have to trudge through just because there's like plot importance.
Yeah,
this is a fun episode.
It's a good episode. Yeah. There's a lot in this one that I really enjoyed. Finn continues to grow up, and we see more of who Princess Bubblegum really is.
Yeah,
the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not willing to fully commit to that.
Okay,
but like,
she's not a bad guy, but
she's certainly not. She's certainly not the good guy.
Not like she's not a hero.
Yeah. I think morally ambiguous is fine.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I do have one more question about this episode.
Okay, ask.
Erik, do you have a call to action for our audience? See, when I said this episode, I meant the episode of Wiz Biz.
I do have a call to action. When will this episode be released?
2 weeks from early November.
Early November. Okay, so people will have already watched our live stream.
Yeah, our live stream already happened. Yeah.
Okay. Then
you must call to a different action.
My call to action is tell a friend about our show or follow us on Blue Sky. Do one or the other, but don't do both. Because I'm not going to ask you to do too much stuff. If you end up doing both, that's friggin' amazing. But if you only do one, tell a friend about the show. And also, go check out our YouTube channel where our live stream is surely archived by now. I believe that usually happens automatically.
That is very possible. I have to talk to you after the show about that.
Yeah.
So do that, and we'll see you in a fortnight.
All right. Goodbye.
What is this?
Film before a live studio audience. Norm!
Mute.